All right, it's Rob Lay, 1980 sports cards, and we have a grade reveal for all the 1985 Topps, not the Tiffany, that was a separate one, the Tiffany set. These were 4 cello boxes I bought early in the year. I've got videos opening up each box and kind of the pre-grading I did. But we have now received back all the cards that were graded by PSA. I don't think I've seen any of the grades, or at least on purpose. I certainly don't remember the grades, and they're not in any order, so I'm just going to go through them one by one. I kind of have an outdated list on the values, but I'll be pretty rough talking about it. And then as we go through it, up there in the top right corner, I'll keep a running count of what our cost was between the boxes and the PSA grading. So I got a pretty good deal on the boxes. They were about $3.50 each for a cello box, and they weren't BBCE certified, but they turned out to be pretty high quality. The distribution of the cards, the condition of the cards, there was no sign to me they were tampered with. So it was a pretty good seller, a pretty good deal, and I'm glad I did it. But let's go to see what the grades are. As we know, the 85 Topps, there's really only big value in the PSA 10s, but PSA is not giving out 10s anymore. As we've discussed in the comments, and you can continue that discussion, it just seems like even the best cards are just getting 9s. I've received several 9s now after about 100 1980s cards, but we're not getting 10s. So then you start looking at the what PSA 9s go for, and there's only a lot of the cards in the set, if they get a PSA 9, we're going to break even on the grading costs. But we're really not going to make money unless it's some of the higher end cards like the Mark McGwire, Dwight Gooden, Roger Clemens, Eric Davis rookie, and a couple of the Hall of Famers. So let's just go through it, and I might try to give a rough verbal on the value, but don't hold me to it. I'll put the actual value in the top right corner as we count down. All right, here we go. Number 1, Ricky Henderson. And there we go. That's a good start. PSA 9. I'd love for this whole stack to be PSA 9s. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to look up a value. I think we're just talking breaking even here on the PSA submission. But there we go. PSA 9 on the very first reveal. Next one's a Ricky Henderson 2. And we got another 9, so 2 9s in a row. That's a good sign. All right, there we go. Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer, PSA 8. Have the Darryl Strawberry, the regular card, and a PSA 8. Another Darryl Strawberry. Oh, sorry, Ryan Sandberg. I saw the R. So Ryan Sandberg in a 6. So something was off on this one. The centering's a little off, but there we go. Darryl Strawberry in a 9. Beautiful, beautiful card. Love it. Man, I can't help to think that a lot of these 9s, if I just would have had graded 5 to 10 years ago, would be gems. George Brett in a 9. At least for that Ryan Sandberg, my strict pre-grading seems to be spot on. Wade Boggs in a 9. Roger Clemens, only in an 8. This is one of the bigger cards, being a rookie. But we got an 8. There we go. Eric Davis, another big card. Unfortunately, just an 8. Better than a 7. Here we go. Nolan Ryan, Hall of Famer. 6. So something was obviously wrong with this. I mean, it just looks, you can tell it's just perfect centering. So there was another major flaw with this, probably surface. Don Mattingly, PSA 8. Another Nolan Ryan, a 7. Man, hard on the Nolan Ryans. Another Nolan Ryan, please give us an 8 or 9. Another 7. Oh, Kirby Puckett, good rookie card in this set. PSA 8. Got the big Mark McGwire card. Just a PSA 8. So far, the big cards have been 8s. Don Manley, PSA 8. Here we go, another Mark McGwire. Let's get a 9. 6. We got killed on that one. We got another Eric Davis, PSA 7. So to give myself some credit on the higher valued cards, I wasn't as strict on the pre-grading, like the older Hall of Famers, second, third tier cards. They needed a pre-grade pretty good for me to submit them. But for the bigger rookie cards and even like the Nolan Ryan, I wasn't as strict on the pre-grading. Here we go, Roger Clemens, big card. PSA 6, ouch. Got a Darryl Strawberry, great card. PSA 8. And finally, the big Roger Clemens, PSA 8. So what we ended up here was, that's our stack of 9s and none of the top 4 or 5 big cards in there. Most of our big cards kind of fell in line here with a stack of PSA 8s. And then we had a stack of 7s and even a stack of 6s. So that's what we ended up with. And I will post the final results, profit loss, there in the top right corner. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.